and start streaming. Does that work? Okay. Oh, no. That doesn't work. Still need this, don't we? Still need the microphone. Did it get shut off? How did that happen? It never gets shut off. So, question is, how unsynced is audio? Should be pretty close, actually. All right.
I got you better.
Thank you.
If it doesn't fit, I'll bring the product up quick. The Red Dot program.
Oh. All right. I'm gonna fill up my spray tank. Actually, and I'm gonna check it. It should be clean though. I forgot about the microphone. So let's open this. Let's move this over. I said let's move this over, something like that. Select live source. Activate selected. And then activate source. Should be good. Yes? Hey, all right. My live stream completely broke over the past week. I had to figure out something kind of new, kind of old, kind of new, just different. Should have turned that on before. But looks like everything is up and working. So that's good. Let's move this over here. Better there. I gotta change out my spray tank. I'm gonna check my soapy water though. Make sure it's clean. I ran, what did I run? Some vinegar? Some like really strong vinegar cleaner. I ran that through. So it should be better. But yeah, if this doesn't work, poo-poo. If it does work, yay. This is what I need. So I'll be a little scatterbrained until we actually get into a groove again. So this is just kind of how I check it. Because I had this like build-up problem with the lines. So I ran some vinegar through it. I run alcohol through it before. These are just little air bubbles. I'm looking at the bottom here. See that? Does that look clean to you? Let it clear out. Yep, looks really good actually. Sweet, so we can add some regular soap to it. This is the day everything goes weird. Let's take out the pressure. Pew! Dump this out. Let's get some fresh water in there. Something's still not working. Why is this not working? No, we don't need this window anymore. Right? No, should be working. AirPods. Supposedly. Oh, what the heck? That should work. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna fill up the spray tank. I'm gonna add some soap. (2010) Camaro side doors. We do front doors for $150. Once this fills up today or tomorrow. See that? Wow, I feel so tall with this camera now. Oh, we're using Windshield. On this one, we're doing their C2 ceramic. So we're gonna do 1, 2, and then since we didn't fill it up all the way, we're just gonna do the rest of this, which probably could be about that much. Good. Put this on. Pressure it. I don't need these samples anymore. Good. Shake, shake, shake. Bring it back over here. Oh yeah, I sold Harry Potter. Harry Potter is no longer here, so he has some space. Look at that. Look at that room.
It's too much space.
So what do we do with ourselves? Okay, so I have a pattern. Need to shrink it. Do I need to shrink? Yes, I do. So you see this? This is just straight water. So we have clean water, and we're gonna run it through until we got soapy water. I'm gonna do it in the sink rather than on the car. Still smells a little bit like vinegar. There we go. Now we got some soap. See a difference there? Much better. Just got some tape and a carving knife set up. Did 5% off. Nice. Way to use the code. Can you comment my name if you have something interesting? Okay, so we're gonna snap shrink this. It's all cut, ready to go. Just heat up that bottom edge. We're curling that in. Don't need very much on a Suburban. Big door, but not super curved. If you pull the seals, you can get away without shrinking them. Oh yeah, we're trying new reach around. It's gonna be this guy.
What is that?
Uh-oh. Do you pull the gaskets out of it? No. It's just preference, though.
I've heard the new ones come out easy, but I didn't even try. I didn't bother.
Yeah. A lot of them come out fairly easy, but there's no real reason to if the doors are also easy. Don't need that running. How long does it take to learn tint? It depends on the person. Very, very up to the person.
I haven't stopped learning yet.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all still learning. I've been tinting at a company for almost 5 years and I want to venture out on my own. What steps should I take? Good question. I tinted for companies for a long time, and it took me a while to get out on my own. The way I ended up making it work was 1 foot in one door, 1 foot in another door. So when I opened up a shop, I still had mobile accounts. So the place that you're working at may or may not be cool with this, but you basically start decreasing the time that you're there, so you're still making some money, and then you schedule appointments for your own place on the days that you can be at your own place. It's a good trade-off. And then when you start getting busy enough to make it work, that's when you leave entirely. But I signed the lease on this place. I still had a few mobile accounts, so I wasn't here full time because there was no customers every day. But then I started getting phone calls, started booking appointments, and then funneling those to certain days. And then took a day away from the mobile accounts, added a day here. It was just a lot of feathering. Do you buy all your tint pre-cut? No. I mean, I have a machine that'll do it. But we'll either hand cut or we'll pre-cut. But it's good to know how to do it yourself, because otherwise you'll mess up a pre-cut pattern and then you'll have to wait on ordering another one. Like, it's just not a good way to run. It's just for DIY stuff. You don't have to round the corners on pre-cuts. No, pre-cuts aren't magic. You have to round the corners on everything. Pre-cut is just a machine cutting a pattern out for you instead of hand cutting it. This still had rounded corners on it. You still have to shrink them. All the other steps are there. It's just a machine cut it out for you. So
That's what we should do, pre-shrunk kits.
I did that for a little bit.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Cut, weed, and shrink patterns all day.
It's hard to clean them. It's like, cause there's that time in getting the patterns, weeding them, and then try and shrink it without making them look messed up. So then you shrink it, and then you have to like wipe them down and almost like let them dry. It's really easy to just make them look messy. I'm using C2 ceramic. I want to dry this edge out just a bit.
Is yours slipping? Mine was slipping a lot.
Yeah. Is it more expensive to tint a classic car? Yes, much more expensive. They just did weird stuff on classic cars. How much is your training on one car full tint? So we do training a couple different ways. We have 1-day sessions where you can come out and learn whatever you want to learn within that day. And then we have a 3-day automotive course. Info's on the site. What's a good windshield tint to blow heat and glare but still look normal with 5%? What's a good windshield tint to blow heat? Oh, to block heat and glare but still look normal with 5%. I mean, any of the GeoShield 5% ceramics, but 5% is still 5%, so it's a little much to put on a windshield.
Off-road purposes only.
Or is that because I'm an old person?
You're pretty old.
Oh, 5% around and a good percentage for windshield. There we go. That's a good question. So if you're pretty dark, 35 is, I think, the best all-round shade. It gives you a good amount of shade on the front, makes it look dark. You get a fair amount of privacy, but it's still safe to drive with. There's just times that 20 is just gonna be too dark. You're driving in the rain, hard to see conditions. I never had a problem with 35 personally. You know, I don't like wearing the head strap, but I definitely miss the angle. It's really good though on a taller vehicle. Works out better this way. Do you think Tint is a good brand? Funny, that brand doesn't exist anymore. They're changing their name again. So like a lot of people like using their films, but they're going through another change again. I found the sprayer tank on Amazon for like 150, where they do the same thing. The base kegs typically do, but where they cheap out are gonna be your hose and the sprayer. So like this part and also the fittings. So on the keg, this is pressurized. On the base kegs, they don't upgrade the fittings. So I can do this, and this doesn't blow out and start shooting water everywhere. All plastic, stainless, and brass fittings. So just make sure you're getting that kind of stuff on it. You probably are gonna have to upgrade the hose, the sprayer, because the hose is definitely one thing that they cheap out on. A hose and the sprayer. But the base keg itself typically is. They're like brewing kegs. Yep, typically upgrade attachments, which get more expensive and tedious than you might think. How long before you can roll the windows up and down? So you should be able to roll them up and down immediately, but we'll still tell people in the summertime 2 or 3 days. Two or 3 days. Is 200 too much money for windshield with ceramic tint? I don't think so. That's what we charge for C2, and then we charge $250 for Apex. Any tips on growing in the business? Growing is, I mean, in what way? More help, more leads? Usually it's just more business. So more business is find a good agency and have them run your ads. We use an agency called Union. They also have a film brand, but I'm not really interested in their film. I'm interested in their ad. Wow, I grabbed the wrong towel. This shop kind of looks like the GeoShield Academy. Well, I had mine first, so you could say theirs kind of looks like mine. What's the difference between C2 and Apex? So this is C2 ceramic. It is a very nice looking film. It will block out a lot of heat. It used to be our top tier film for a long time. Apex is a step above it. Apex basically has 2 layers of ceramic in one film, where this has 1 layer of ceramic. So it's also known as like a super ceramic. So your C2 ceramic is gonna block out about, what, up to like 85% of the IR. Apex steps it up to like 95. So it's adding another layer, but it's only blocking out so much more because there isn't a ton left to block out. So it's just being on the bleeding edge. Which I can't tell you how many people you try and explain that to, and they just go, yep, I want the best. Just because it's in that category. It's a nice looking setup, thank you. What's your best tip for getting the top cut right on a side window? Using a good knife. A good knife and a good blade. So we used to use these stainless ones for a very long time. Stainless can snag a little bit, and also the metal holders aren't necessarily ideal. So one thing we use is these thin carbon blades. Sorry, let me get the camera there. It's a little harder with this one. These are really thin carbon steel blades, and then we put them in a plastic holder. And so when we cut our top edge, a metal knife, for example, tends to skip off the top. If you put too much pressure, it'll also gouge into the tint. And then the stainless sometimes will snag. So the thin carbon steel doesn't snag as much. The plastic holder has this nice little like blunt. I gotta get used to where this is. Has this, you see that little like flat edge on the front of it? So then it kind of hits. Just makes it much easier to cut a top edge. At the classes that we teach, we give everybody these knives. They have a far easier time learning how to do top edges way quicker with these. 10 out of 10 recommend. I think you just get a nice cleaner cut. So this one's all done. Do people even file the windows anymore? Yeah, some people still file them. Just depends on the place. It's a little harder when you 2-stage framed windows. It makes more sense for frameless, and especially if you're pulling seals and bottom loading, it's a little easier to file. Nano ceramic hard to learn for beginners. I wouldn't look at it that way. Just window tint is hard to learn, period. How do you deal with car coupes where door windows auto close up and down when opening? How do you deal with car coupes? You latch them. So there is it gives me a good opportunity to try this. So with coupes and frameless doors like Teslas, see this right here? You're going to basically trick the latch. So you push that in, the window will shift up, And this is something that we're working on. So when you close the door, it still keeps the door propped open. So on a frameless, you're not gonna scratch the paint. But the nice thing about this too is if I wanna unlatch the door, I just pull on the handle and then this pops right back out. So I don't forget to unlatch them. It's easier. Where do you get your tint tools? Check the bio, but right there. What brand is the Apex? GeoShield. How much do tinters get paid? That ranges wildly. Shops are independent, or a lot of them are. So it goes based on what the shop is willing to pay. I think one of the better ways was doing mobile and tinting for other companies, not necessarily window tint shops. And then you can negotiate a higher rate. Cool. Well, this looks good. I like this. Let's go check the other side. Oh, on frameless, you can drive it right away. You can open and close the doors. Leaving the windows up is just something that gets mentioned too much. It's nice to leave the windows up for a few days, but it's not necessary. It's harder to explain to people, though, that it's okay to roll them up and down. But you want to listen to the shop, because some shops are really paranoid about that stuff, and some cars genuinely have really tight seals that you would want to leave the windows up. But your Camaros, Mustangs, Challengers, Teslas, those are going to shift up and down. Don't worry about it. Just listen to whatever the shop recommends, because if something happens, they're going to be the one that fixes it. Cool. This one's good. Alrighty. We got another appointment that should be coming in the door any minute right now. How long does it take usually for water streaks or bubbles to go away? Usually a couple days, up to a week in the wintertime. So you see a little bit of streakiness, but if you push extra water out, that goes away much faster. I gotta
I just did his check-in form.
Oh, you did his check-in? Okay. I'll pull this out. Can you cash them out?
Yep.
Sweet. All right, I'll get this outside. Oh, he's gonna check it out first.
I'll get the door for you so you can check it out.
Okay. Check out and then check out.
That's way better.
Yeah, turned out nice. Really nice. So we did 20 to match the rear on that one, and that was as close to a match as we could get.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
alrighty. Here is,
Oh, this one?
yep. Here's that. Mark's gonna cash you out. I'll get this pulled out for you. The gray walls ain't working. What do you mean by that? They do work. They're walls. They're white though. Scooch this over. We'll get this pulled out.
So, on those the two boards on the right both have the same.
Well, that's cool. Looks like the camera worked out today. I'm waiting on a neck mount, and then I'll be able to do both. So when we're doing windshields, I got a head mount, and then I guess SUVs. And then when we're doing shorter stuff and side stuff, I can just put it on a neck mount. I like it. Look at this interior. This is nice. Where's the drone cam? That's a good question. Drone cam coming in next. We'll do little flybys. But yeah, we can check this outside. Check this over. Because what does it look like outside versus inside? Good. I like it. That looks good. All right. One sec. Is it still connected?
I love the color of that.
Yeah, thanks. I do too. They call it cypress gray, but I see green when I look at it.
Here's the key back.
It is a greenish gray.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta. It's like, why do I hear typing? No, let me connect it. Okay, I love AirPods and the way that they connect to stuff. But they want to connect to fucking everything. Somebody else's iPhone. Do you want to connect to this? No. I've been having issues where everything looks good when it dries. Where everything looks good and when it dries. I'm assuming that means it doesn't look as good. There's always going to be dirt trapped in the film that is hard to notice if you don't do a good job. So water is going to look streaky. It's going to fill in little dots and stuff. So you always have to look for that kind of stuff when you're doing your work. You know, I have to check on these appointments because they're 11 o'clock switched. So we're 11 o'clock. That other lady was supposed to be here at 11. But no deposit. Which means maybe. And then we got another one.
I feel like she's going to be here. She's only available Saturdays. It's the only day of the week she can get it done. Because I was like, well, we could do like literally anytime next week. Nope, I'm only available Saturdays. Oh, we can squeeze in.
How much would it cost to tint my 2017 Jeep Cherokee in C2 and in Apex? Everything with a windshield or just the sides and the rear? Usually they have like a small air pocket pop up in the most random spots. Yeah, it's probably a dirt speck or two. That's tinting stuff. There's nothing that I can say that's gonna fix it. It's just tinting stuff. You gotta look for that kind of stuff. You gotta try and do a cleaner job. Sides and rear, we have a few different oh yeah, you were asking about C2 ceramic and Apex. $350 for all the sides and rear in C2 ceramic and $450 for Apex. All right. You should do a shop tour. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. It just looks nice and straightforward. So this is our showroom. We have this fan here because our AC is all here in this room, so we like to dump it out into the back. But this is our showroom area. We have our display boards. These are the 3 films that we have: carbon, C2 ceramic, and Apex. And then we have a heat box. We go over film shades and options. We have a little Keurig and snack area. Seating. A TV that is not plugged in because I tint right there. And then when you have this running, you turn the volume way up and then I get demonetized. This is where you can buy tools. So we sell everything that we use and all the orders. As soon as you place an order, it pops out on that printer right there. And then we get it all packed together and shipped. All the inventory is upstairs. And then this is the tinting area. So we did wall-to-wall cabinets with a nice cozy Graphtec right in the middle. There's literally no space end to end, so that cabinet is touching the wall. It goes right here all the way to this. I didn't know if this was gonna work out, but I did a lot of measuring and I'm glad it just fit. So end-to-end cabinets, 60-inch Graphtec right in the middle.
How much for 2011 Ford Ranger Crew?
We did these hanging glass boards here. So these are custom. They're just cut to be the exact same size of a cabinet face. So then we could put it and hide the cabinet and it wouldn't get in the way of the other stuff. We also frosted the back. So this is GeoShield's white frost film on the back of the glass board. Is working with a cheaper film a good idea? Yeah, absolutely. Saves you money. Just get a cheaper dyed film instead of a cheaper carbon film. Cheap carbon films are tough to shrink, typically. Let me switch it back to this. Thinking about getting into PPF, do you recommend? Yeah, for certain people it works out great. PPF is an awesome skill. It's just a completely different business from window tint. So you will have some overlap. I would suggest starting with the easy stuff, like front hood sections, door edge guards, that kind of stuff, and just work your way up into it. If you're doing tint right now, adding it on as part of like a tint package is a good way to just make some extra money and make it a little bit easier on yourself. And then you get familiar with products, and then you can start tackling full hoods, full bumpers. Full hoods are gonna be way easier than full bumpers. But yeah, so the floor is all race deck. We have the film inside each cabinet. So this is like our C2 ceramic cabinet. That's gonna be our Apex cabinet. We have some PPF in that one and then miscellaneous stuff. We did 2 sinks. So this is something that I didn't know if we'd be able to do it or not. Turns out we were able to because we don't have floor drains here. So we actually have the drain running all the way to what used to be the sink way over in that corner. But this functioning sink, really helpful, filling up spray bottles and all that stuff right next. And then we got a sink right there because this was gonna be basically station number 2. So station 1, station 2, plotter in the middle. A couple fun things that have been really helpful that are definitely worth the money. Is that in there? This Ego vacuum, 10 out of 10. It's a battery-powered vacuum, shop vac, no cord. We just pull it out of the cabinet, vacuum up what we need to, then it goes back in the cabinet. We hooked up the batteries right up here. So we just have a few extra batteries, so we just swap it out whenever it's low. Never have to worry about charging. Mark just used this is the Ego blower. This is also super great for just blowing out your shop. So we use both. We use the vacuum and we use this. Highly recommend both.
The 2 o'clock says she can be here around 12:30.
Oh, nice. That's good.
So she said she's far away, but she thinks she can be here.
Okay. Honorable mention, we don't use these as much right now, but these are pretty cool. These are ping pong tables. What's nice about them is that they're 5 feet wide instead of 4 feet, so it gives you a little extra depth. And then you just kick this, and then you get a table. So we don't really do this very much. But some shops will do window tint cutout right onto a table. So that was the idea here, is like rolling out PPF. We have 2 of these. Go right onto a table. And then when you want to store it, you just do that. You could also use it as a roller peel board. But I'm probably going to get a big glass board instead. So I'll just throw that back here. What else? Big TVs are nice too. Big TV for your plotter software. It's nice. How high does the scaffolding go? It was $800 from Home Depot. 12 feet? I think each section is like 6 feet. So I think it's like the platform is up to 12 feet, and then with the upper, it's an additional like 4-foot cage up there. Tall enough for me to do all the lighting, which is why I got it. But if you're doing flat glass, that's the type of scaffolding that a lot of people will get. They'll bring it into somebody's house. Just kind of a pain in the ass to set up scaffolding. How high does this? Oh yeah, that one. What is better, Apex Ultra or other ceramic from Geo? What's better, Apex is going to be the best film that they have. So Apex is 2 layers of ceramic in 1 film. Does it suck to clean the race deck? Yes, we don't clean it at all until one day we decide to rip it all up. So we've had this green section, and then just last year, so March of last year is when we finished off the entire floor with race deck. And just this section was a pain in the ass to clean underneath. But to clean it, you break up big sections and you move them, scrub it out, and you can sweep it out. But we don't have floor drain, so you basically like have to make a path and shove it all out the door. There's an echo. Hopefully nothing more than just a shop echo, because I am in a big warehouse. Best recommendation on Tint Depot and Geo. I would just go with Geo. What's the link to get tint? There's one right here. I don't hear an echo on TT. Oh, what's up, Marco? Yeah, I didn't think so. But we do have funny sound effects that every once in a while my son's gonna kick on. So like this one, for example. So we have an appointment that's coming in probably about an hour. So I'm gonna hop off here for now and work on some other stuff. So thank you for hanging out. This has been a good test and looks like it'll actually work well. My battery is, that can't be right. I've been live longer than 14 minutes.
Slow and methodical like the Undertaker.
Ugh.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, bro.
All right, see you guys.